the page, right? So layout, what does that include? That includes the fields, okay, which are being displayed on the page. That include the child records or the related list. That is a part of the page layout, right? Location of the fields. So these are the things that you control through a page layout. Okay. So page layout is a very important component in Salesforce because it helps you do a lot of controls. It is not just for the visual part. It does not only help in controlling the user interface or the way things look. It also helps you control a lot of things which might not be controlled through our profiles and permission sets and all those things, right? So page layout is again one more option of controlling access sometimes, and I will show you how. Okay. So first of all, let us understand when I'm talking about a page layout, which page am I talking about? So we are talking about the detail page of any object or the detail page of a record. So what is a detail page of a record? Where exactly is that? Go to Salesforce, open any record. Let's say you go to accounts. And you go to a particular account and open it. This is the detail page of the record. Okay. So where you open the record and view it. So this is the detail page. These are all the fields of that record. These are the child record, and these are also called child records are also called related lists. Okay. So page layout basically, page layout option helps us set the location of fields, which field should be at the top, which field should come second. That ways it helps you define that. It also helps you set the location of related lists. Okay, when I'm saying setting the location, it also has the option, the page layout also has the option of removing certain fields or related lists. In case let's say there is a field called SLA expiration date. In case you don't want to see this, there is a ticker symbol. In case you don't want to see this field at all, you also have that option of removing the field completely. Or you don't want to see this contacts related list, you want to completely remove it from the page, you can do that. Fine. So let's go and do it. Let's go and work on it. So every object, since we saw that, okay, fine, page layout is for the detailed record. Every object has record and every object has page layout option. Okay. So where do we need to go for editing the page layout? You can go to setup. I'll take an example of custom object which we created. Let's take an example of our project management, and let's see what all fields we have here. All right. So let us take the example of the client object, fine, and try to edit it. So go to setup. Go to create objects. and then click on client, right? So go to that particular object where you create these fields, standard fields, custom fields and all. Just below that, scroll down a little further, you will see page layout option, right? So the moment you create an object, by default one page layout is created for them. So there is a default page layout which is created. Fine. In case you need more page layouts, then you have the option of creating more. Okay. And you might be thinking, why do I need to create more page layouts for the same object? Why do we need multiple page layouts for the same object? The reason is very simple. Because we have multiple profiles in the system. The other day we were talking about profiles, right? So marketing profile, sales profile, HR profile, finance profile, system administrator, developer, a lot of profiles are there, right? In case you want to have different page views for different profiles, if you want the same record to be visible to the marketing team in a different way and the same record should be visible to the sales team in a slightly different manner, you can have two different page layouts there. However, having said that, you can have, let us understand this, you have that option of creating different page layouts for different profiles, but that is not mandatory. You can keep it same also. Like for now, because there is only one page layout, this page layout is applicable on all the profiles. Whatever profiles are there, because there is only one page layout, this is applicable for all of them. Fine. So let us edit this page layout. Go to the edit brush option. Okay. The moment you click on edit, you see this screen where you can edit the layout of the page. As I said, you can set the location of fields. Let's say country you want on the right hand side and city you want on the left hand side. If you want client name below city, whatever, I mean. So it's just a drag and drop option. You just have to drag fields wherever you want the fields to be. That is one, right? Setting the location of fields. Same way you can set the location of the related list. In case you had multiple related lists, you could have, shuffled those as well, the way you want. So whenever you are done with your changes, drag and drop thing, just go and save it. You need to make sure that you save the changes before you come out. So you have made the changes here. Now if you go and open up a detail record on the detail page, you will see the changes. See, city, country comes here. Alright. Now the next thing is that what else do we do from the page layouts apart from setting the location? Make fields required. Making a field required means making a field mandatory field. Okay, but that is an option that we saw in while creating the field, right? Is that not an attribute of a field? While we create the field, at that time we have that option of making a field required, right? So what do we do here then? Let's say if we are talking about client object. Country is not a required field. Is it a required field? No. No red mark here. City is also not a required field. Name is a required field, right? But through page layout, you can make some fields required also. Okay. So let me again go back to the page layout and see how can we make a field required. Go to that particular field, click on properties. So if you take your mouse to any of the field, you will have that option of properties here. Click on that and make it required. You will have the option of making it read only and required. So let's make it required. Click on OK and save the changes. Now go to Salesforce. Now if you edit this record, you will see country field has also become a required field. Fine. So you have the option, not just resetting your fields, you also have the option of making the fields required. So making the fields required and read only wherever you need. So that is one more option which is available, and this is something which helps you a lot. Okay. Now let us understand what is this required concept, or how does it help. It's very simple. If you make a field required while creating the field, I think all of you remember, while you create a field, at that time we have an option, right? Make this field required, this is always required or not, right? So if you make a field required there, it is called to be universally required field. Okay. Any field which is made as a required field on the field attributes. While creating the field, if you have made the field as a required field, it is called to be universally required field. Okay, which means it is required everywhere. However, if you make a field required on the page layout, then it's called required on page. Right? So now the difference is basically in what we are calling them. Universally required field is always required. However, a required on page, a field which is required on page is only required on that given page. Right? So if you have, let's say, 4 different pages, right now we are working with only one page. Okay? If you have 4 different pages, one for marketing profile, one for sales profile, one for management, and one for let's say the administrators. Okay? And the field is there, you want to make that field required only for marketing profile. So you want to make that field required for marketing professionals. Okay. And for other 3 profiles, you just want it to be normal field. I mean, it should not be required, optional. Then, if you make it universally required, it will be required for everyone. You do not have an option of changing that. But if you make it required on page, you can just make it required on the page which will be used for marketing profile. So that is the advantage. Got that? So making a field required on page will, number one, help you have different settings for different profiles in case you want. Or let's say you have a marketing profile and sales profile. One of the fields you want to make read only for the marketing profile. For marketing profile users, you want the field to be read only. For a sales profile, you want that field to be read write. Again,